Hello and welcome back to Amplified 208. Today we are looking at a 1979 JVC model RS7. It's a stereo receiver. The complaint on this one is it's got a deaf tuner. I haven't powered it up yet. I'm not exactly sure when this thing was powered on last. So it is going to get the lid removed. And it's going to be put on a current limited device. I'm going to put it on a curve bulb. Dim bulb tester. We're going to look at the current draw and have a look inside. So I just don't like plugging these units in when they sit on the shelf for a while like this. The best practice is to power them up under a dim bulb, current limit. The capacitors, the power supply itself, current limit it through a dim bulb. So that way all the capacitors and everything can reform. It kind of helps them, last a little longer instead of nailing with a high current, especially if it's been sitting around and if they're old and they're dry capacitors and they're not quite up to snuff. But I'm not sure exactly what's entailed with this unit too much at the moment, but I did pull the screws off the top of this case, so we're gonna have a look inside and see why this thing's got a deaf tuner. So let's go over here. First thing I can see here, besides a lot of dirt, a lot of dust. Oof. Let's see if we can get in there on the tuning gang. Yeah, it's a lot of hair. Picture quality kind of sucks. So we can zoom out there a little bit. There we go. Yeah, lots of tuning gang, and see all that dust in there. That could be one of the reasons for the deaf tuner. So look through here, lots of dust. This is a tuner section. So he says this thing does power up and plays and stuff like that. It's just the tuner. There's the output section here. What do we got there? Oh, the old bat wings. I think it's like the MT200 style package, except for the little guys. Call them a Batwing. Famous. I don't know, maybe it's a Darlington pack. I only see 3 on there. Maybe it's got... No, there's 4. 2 over there and 2 over there. Well, that makes sense, yes. And then your drivers. Emitter resistors. The Bell network. Nice big caps. Don't see anything too out of the ordinary. And some stuff going on, a lot of dirt. Well, the first thing you're going to do here is I'm going to clean all this out, get rid of this dirt, and be very, very careful cleaning the dirt out around the tuner section. You don't want to damage them. And then we're going to look, definitely clean this tuning gang. Some compressed air, some contact cleaner. Let it really dry out. It looks like it's got some corrosion down in there. Let's see. See that green down in there? That little contact point, that's going to have to get cleaned. Yeah, I think that's the issue there. We'll clean all this up, get this tuning gang cleaned up, and that should bring the alignment back into place, and the tuner shouldn't be deaf anymore. The capacitors, I don't really see anything too much at this point. It looks to be out of the ordinary. I don't like how they bend all the transistors all over the place. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be a lot to this one. I think to this one here, it's just going to be a matter of cleaning this up, cleaning that tuning gang up, getting rid of all this dust, clean up the boards, maybe check for, pull the board out, maybe check for bad solder joints. And then I'll go from there. I only think at this point, with the amount of dust and everything that's in this thing, I'm not even going to put it under power or the current limit at this point. What I'm going to do, I'm going to clean it and do a few static checks with the meter. Make sure there's no short circuits or anything like that, even before I put it on the dim bulb. to just prevent any other further damage. Like you said, this was a working unit, so I still ain't gonna risk it. Make sure this tuner board, I don't like how they fold these caps over and stuff like that. And it might have a purpose, but it looks like somebody's just got their fingers in there, and I don't know. We're going to tidy that up. Look for any other issues on this. Any open or burnt components, all will look a little better. But yeah, there we go. I'll clean all this up, and then I'll bring you guys back in, and we'll have another look and see what I found. We'll check the meters, the tuning gauge, and we're going to do this. I'm going to do this with basic, simple little cleaning skills, and yeah, we'll get this thing going, hopefully. Because the test equipment for this, for tuner alignments and modulation equipment is kind of expensive. So we'll do this, and then I'll be back with you. All right, I'll let you know what I find. Alright, we're back here with an update. This here JVC R7 there with the dead tuner. So it turned out being extremely dirty, as you've seen in the last part of the video here. So I ended up taking it outside and cleaning it all up with some alcohol and well, yeah, get rid of all the dust. Clean the tuning gang here, as you can see, and also use a little bit of deoxit down there where the contacts are for the tuning gang. There's definitely videos out there to show you how to do that, so but be very careful. Clean a lot of the dust out of here. As you can see, it's much cleaner now. Straightened up some of these caps, soldered up some parts on the board anywhere it would look some hot, like hot connections, you know, broken connections, and looking cracked, especially around these transistors up here, around all the drivers. Check the heatsink compound. It's still nice and malleable. It's not dried out or anything like that. This is a very low hour unit, I think, besides sitting around and on a closet or in someone's front room with a bunch of animals and cats or dogs or something once upon a time in its life. The panel lamps are out, as you can see here. One lamp, two lamps. For this is for the 2 meters here. The lights here. Stereo is working right now. It's pulled in nice and strong. Got the thing tuned in. Nice strength on the meter again. You can see there. Tuner is no longer deaf. This thing pulls in just lots of radio stations. All the controls here, all good and clean. No static, no noise. This receiver, yeah, it pounds. But then, yeah, I noticed that we had no panel lamps when I powered it up. Also put it on the current limit when I powered it for a while first. Now it's off the limit, but sitting at 120 volts and no panel lamps going on, but we had 22 watts, 22.6 watts of power pulse, so nothing really serious. The boards looked really good on the bottom, you know. Regardless, that was pretty good. You can see down here, it's got those batwing style transistors on it. Yeah, down there. It's got 4 of them. This thing's built quite well, man. This is an impressive little unit. Sounds amazing. The distortion numbers and specifications on this thing are actually quite incredible. So, yeah, as you can see, I've looked at the schematic, and right now we're getting 7.381 volts AC, where the panel lamps are supposed to be. And that's the power going to the panel lamps, but as you can see, they're not illuminated. So that's clearly, they're done. They're not working. I think the owner of this is going to kind of we're going to try to keep it original with the incandescents. So I'm not going to do the LED conversion on this one at this time, unless he does decide to change his mind, but I doubt it. But as you can see, that tuning gang looks much better. Much, much better. And all this stuff back here, there was a lot of just dirt, just debris. And these RF circuits back here, they don't like it. You know, these radio frequency circuits do not like dust, dirt, corrosion. You see, everything's a lot cleaner now. I spent probably a good hour and a half, 2 hours just cleaning the board up with fine little paint brushes, makeup brushes, and Q-tips and alcohol and deoxit, a little bit deoxit here and there where necessary on the for the switches and stuff like that, but I think I will bring you back once I get these lights installed. And then I'm going to let this thing warm up for a while. And then I'm going to check the DC bias on it. Make sure it's good, but I'm pretty sure it's good because there's no distortion. The heatsink is warm. It's not hot. Mind you, this regulator here, by the looks of it, it's definitely a regulator by the looks of it. It runs hot, but which made sense because on the bottom of the board I did retouch up the solder joints on that. Yeah, they did look stressed out with some heat, so. But as you can see, it's a pretty decent unit. Not bad build for a JVC unit. It's got great specifications. And of course this JVC uses nothing but Toshiba, Hitachi, and Sanyo parts. Typical in NEC. They all share common components through all the companies, especially transistors. But yeah. So if anybody wants to consider getting one of these style ones, amplifiers, the JVC R S7, very good receiver. Well, once I finish this up, I'll get the panel lamps in it, and then I'll bring you guys back, and then we'll go from there. All right.